Okay, so we're looking at calculating measurements of length, perimeter, and area from a scale diagram. So we're going to determine a scale. That's the first thing we have to learn how to do. Here we've got our picture. So the actual length of the house is 10 meters. So we know that the length is 10 meters. Determine the scale of the plan. First thing you're going to do is you're going to look at the diagram measurement compared to the actual. We know the actual is going to be a 10. So we get our ruler, we measure it, and we get 4 centimeters. So it's 4 centimeters is to 10 meters. First thing you do, change them both to the same unit. So we go 4 centimeters is to 1,000 centimeters. Then what we do is we bring it down to the lowest. So we bring this down to 1. So we divide that by 4, which means we have to divide this side by 4. And we've now got 1 is to 250. So for every 1 centimeter or for 1 meter, we have 250. So we know we have to multiply by 250. Then our question will say to us, calculate the perimeter of the actual house. So we know that this is 10 meters. We have to work out what the width is before we can do our perimeter. So we say the width is 31 millimeters. We know that we have to multiply it by 250 because that was our scale. So we go 31 times 250 gives us 7,750 millimeters. We need to change that to meters, so it's 7.75 meters. Now we can work out our perimeter. So we go perimeter, remember always put your formula in, is equal to length plus length plus width. We stick in our length plus width, and add them all together, we get 35.5 meters. Remember, I need to see all of this working out, okay? And remember, that was your scale, 250. All right, then we look at something else, and they say the actual width of the cubic toilet is 1 meter. Okay, so the cubicle. So now we go, all right, well then let's determine the scale for the diagram shown. We need diagram and actual. So we're going to get out a ruler, we measure it. We know our actual is 1 meter, and it's actually 1 centimeter. Nice. Second thing you have to do, change them both to the same unit. So we do that, it's 100, 1 centimeter is to 100, which is great because now we don't have to actually do anything for our scale. We can just get rid of our centimeters, and then we've got 1 is to 100. So we know that our scale is 100. We have to times by 100. So B says use that scale to determine the dimensions in meters of the laundry. There's the laundry, we measure it. The diagram, we measure it. And then the actual dimensions. So we know that our scale is 1 to 100. So it's 2.2 by 2.2 because it's a square. So what do we do to get our actual dimensions? We times them by 100. So we've got 220. Now we say, well, we can't leave them in centimeters. We change them to meters. So your actual dimensions are 2.2 meters by 2.2 meters. So 1 is the width, 1 is the length. Then it says do the same thing in the bathroom. Bearing in mind, our scale is 1 to 100. So what is our diagram dimension? Is 2.1, so we actually measure it, the bathroom, by 3.5. Then we multiply that by 100. So you've now got 210 centimeters times by 350. We need to change that to meters. So it's 2.1 meters by 3.5 meters. That's our actual dimensions. Then the question says, calculate the perimeter. Now we have just worked out what of the laundry, that it was 2 by 2.2. So we would go 2.2, 2.2, 2.2, 2.2. So we put our formula in. Perimeter is equal to length plus width. We put it in 2.2 plus 2.2 plus 2.2, and we get 8.8 meters. Beautiful. Okay. Then we go to what is the perimeter of the bathroom. So the bathroom, remember, previously was 2.1 by 3.5. We put our formula in. And we go 2.1 plus 3.5 plus 2.1 plus 3.5, and that gives us 11.12 meters. Then we get a question that says the actual width of the toilet cubicle is 1 meter. Determine the scale. So when we start a scale, we've measured it, it's going to be 1 centimeter, and they're telling us that the cubicle is 1 meter. So our scale, 1 centimeter. Our actual is 1 meter. Change them both to centimeters. So now we've got 1 is to 100. So we know that our scale is 1 is to 100. Then it says use that scale to calculate the area of the bathroom in meters. So we know our scale is 1 to 100. We take our diagram dimensions, so we actually draw it ourselves, to our actual dimensions. Okay? 2.1 by 3.5. And we change that into, we times that by 100. So it becomes 210 by 350. So that we change, those were centimeters, we change them into meters. And we then work out our area. So it would be 2.1 by 3.5, times them together, and you get 7.35 meters squared. All right, guys, I want you to go ahead and try that for me, please.